I said I wasn't gonna do a part two. I said that I wasn't. I won't say that I lied, but I was just so pulled and moved to make sure I did this part two of my top pickups of 2024. So it's the last day of 2024, and I feel it'd be fitting to give a part two. It was so difficult to do the first video, as I stated, if you saw that. So this is indeed part two of my top pickups of 2024. Okay, let's get to it. YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. Positive energy, positive vibes. Y'all know how we get down here in this channel, man. Positive vibes only. All right, so we're back with a part two of my top pickups over the year. So overall, it will be a top 20. Part one wasn't enough, because it was so many different things that I experienced this year, and I just wanted to show love to more. That's pretty much what this is all about. So a lot of y'all, like me, enthusiasts in this space, you know, you acquire fragrances and have different experiences throughout the year, and when it's time to start talking about, you know, your year-end wrap-up and your fragrance journey, it's kind of really hard to kind of give 10, and that's what this is. All right, so here we are with part two. We're going to tap into 10 more fragrances that I am just so happy that these are a part of my fragrance collection, and want to share them with you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and tap in. This one here was gifted to me very early on in the year. I had not experienced this until it was gifted to me, man. So I got to shout out my man Chris, man, for showing me love earlier in the year, and this was one that just kind of blew me away, man. From the house of Tom Ford, we're talking Tobacco Oud. Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford. Now, at the beginning of the year, this was very hard to obtain. It was very, very hard to get. Wasn't on discounters, but I've noticed throughout the year it has been more readily available, and I'm happy about that. Because all my tobacco lovers, this is one that you really want to tap into for sure. Has a whiskey and cinnamon notes to this with the tobacco. The tobacco comes off a bit dry. Yeah, a lot dry. The tobacco comes off a lot dry. There's a woodsy element to this, but the whiskey, that boozy, you know, sweet and spicy texture along with the oud in here is fantastic. Very masculine, great for evening night out, for a date night. If the person who you are interested in a relationship with likes those more masculine fragrances on you, this is one to definitely tap into. So again, more readily available now than when I first got it. And I'm happy about that. So all my tobacco lovers, this is one to really tap into. Great addition to my collection in 2024 from the house of Tom Ford. We're talking Tobacco Oud. Tobacco Oud, great fragrance, man. Great fragrance. All right. Up next, I've talked about this fragrance a lot. It is one of the more unique, versatile fragrances in my collection, and I absolutely love it. From the house of Arabian Oud, we're talking Diwan. All right, Diwan, however you want to pronounce it. Here you go. Cashmere and wood, lavender, apple. Oh God, it's just so good. It's just a different take on clean and versatile. And I'm a huge fan of cashmere and wood, and the cashmere and wood really shines in this. Arabian Oud is a fantastic house that I will be diving more into in 2025. I just received my second fragrance that I purchased from Arabian Oud, and we'll talk about that to really start off the year. But this is a true highlight. I haven't had this for about like a month, and look at the dent that we have already. Nice dent really showing up here because it just works for anything. But I love the unique play on the versatility. It's just simple as that. So cashmere wood, green apple, lavender. It's amazing, man. It is truly amazing, and I overly enjoy this. Again, as always, when I talk about Diwan, I gotta salute Charm City, man. Shout out Charm City for piquing my interest. And I had some questions and some conversations about Diwan for him. You know, me and him had a great talk about it, and he pushed me over the top to go ahead and blind buy this. And I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did, because I love this stuff. Great addition to my collection in 2024 from the house of Arabian Oud. We're talking Diwan. I love this stuff, man. It's a really great performer for a freshie, a cleaner scent. It's a really, really, really great performer. All right, up next, man, this is probably, if I had like a video for like the steals of the year or underrated gems or something of the year, this would definitely be here because no one talks about this fragrance. But if you're into leather, this is spectacular. From the house of Parfums de Marly, we're talking Godolphin. Godolphin by Parfums de Marly. That gold, gaudy, all gold bottle. This stuff is great. In comparison to like things like Tuscan Leather and Initio Paragon from Argos. But this is different. This definitely has the raspberry leather vibe to it, but it definitely does its own thing. Got this for a steal over on Vimba, man. Almost close to like right at $100. Yeah, like right a little over $100 is what I got for this on Black Friday. Couldn't pass it up. I couldn't pass it up, and it had been on my list for quite some time. I had been a small decant for a couple of years. But this stuff is incredible. I love the leathery dominance in here and the tart, sparkly citrus that really accompanies this is the perfect blend. A little bit more on the leather, and then the fruits, citruses kind of way down here. But ultimately, when you get to the base of the fragrance, the dry down in the fragrance, they kind of meet, 50-50. And I just like the journey that it put me on. And again, all my leather fragrances, all my leather fragrance lovers, my tart, citrusy, leathery, Tuscan leather, Baccio Immortale lovers, this is one to tap into. Will it be redundant to those? I'm going to say no, because it does its own thing. So got it for a great price, a steal, and I really am happy that I'm able to add this into my collection this year. So from the house of Parfums de Marly, we're talking Godolphin. Godolphin, that wild all gold bottle, which I actually like. I actually like that all gold bottle. Up next, a fragrance that was on my list for, like I said, well, not in this video, but I've talked about this in live streams and other videos. I had this on my list for a couple of years, and I just went ahead and pulled the trigger. Matter of fact, I got this and Godolphin together, and I'm just really glad to have it. It's a classic, a gentleman's classic. It is the right balance of fresh and sweet, and it's great. From the house of Creed, we're talking Original Santal. Finally was able to retrieve a bottle of Original Santal. I know the comparisons out there to the Mont Blanc Individuals, but Individual is a great fragrance. I ran through a couple bottles in my day, but it doesn't hold a candle. I don't know which one came out first, but it doesn't hold a candle. This is the ultimate form of that DNA, if you like that. Has a warmth to it, fresh spicy tones, that lavender, that tonka bean. It's clean. It's just a gentleman's classic. That's what it is. It is a gentleman's classic, and it can be worn anytime, any place, anywhere. And I know a lot of people say, from what I've seen, oh, it's great for the fall and the winter. Yeah, I think it's great for all year round. I wouldn't wear this in the highest of heat if I'm going to be outdoors. No, I wouldn't. But I would wear this in the highest of heat if I'm going indoors. If I'm going to the movies or dinner or something like that, I'm not going to be outside long. I'm not going to be sweating and all that. Nah, this can be worn, I believe, any time of year. And this is going to be an office king, in my opinion, for me, especially moving forward with this fragrance. So glad to have it. Great addition to my collection 2024. Had to discuss it. Had to let y'all know how much I appreciate this fragrance if I haven't done so already. From the house of Creed. Great addition to my collection in 2024. Talking Original Santal. Original Santal. All right, up next, a great brand of great discovery for me in 2024. And it will go on and on as my journey continues. But this might be pound for pound my favorite. Might be. It's so hard to choose just one, which is my absolute favorite, but this is up there for sure. From the house of Day 3 Fragrances, we're talking Filosofia. Filosofia is absolutely great. This crazy tobacco, hazelnut, chocolate style of a scent here. Hazelnut really plays a huge part in this fragrance. And it's spectacular, man. I love it, man. Wearing this to the office was a huge hit to the office. especially to my team who I was working with on that day. Got a lot of compliments in the beginning, first few hours of my day. But for me, it's a personal wear for me because I just really enjoy what it does, and smelling it and testing it and getting out and wearing it into the real world. You want a different style of a tobacco plate. Here you go with the hazelnut, with the chocolate, gourmandish tobacco, maybe, if you want to call it that. This is amazing. The whole house of Day 3 is fantastic. Try them out. Try out Day 3 fragrances, man, because they have a lot of great offerings. Mike does a fantastic job with his creations and his team. It's just amazing. It's amazing. But if you're gonna try and start with one, you love tobacco, hazelnut, chocolate, you like how that sounds? Tap into this. Very, very happy to have this in my collection. A great addition in 2024 from the house of Day 3 fragrances. We're talking Filosofia. I know a lot of y'all love Filosofia. A lot of y'all do, and I do too. It's a great, great, great fragrance. And the bottles are different now. So if you're seeing this, I'm like, hold on, why does his bottle look like that? The bottles are different. This is now considered an old school bottle, but the bottles are different, but these were the previous bottles beforehand. Up next, I literally smelled this at my local Dillard's, and it had been on my mind, and I made it to the parking lot, and I found it for a great price in the parking lot. And I bought it in the parking lot because it just took me by storm. It just really captivated me to the fact that I bought this in the parking lot. From the house of Initio Fragrances, we're talking Paragon. Paragon, beautiful plum, Palo Santo, sandalwood beauty here. The plum and the sandalwood and the Palo Santo, the Palo Santo, the plum and the sandalwood really, really, really shine. You get this nice spicy kick from the black pepper. But this stuff is A1, A2, A3. It is spectacular. Not a lot of conversation about this. Side effect and must therapy. And, there's a lot of others from the house that get more love than Paragon. But this is very slept on. But it is very good. I'd argue that it is top 3 from the house overall. There's a sense of freshness to this. There's a sense of dense vibes to this. There's so many things going on, and all my plum lovers out there, this is done really, really well. Quite versatile. Wouldn't wear this in the high heat of summer, but for everything else, I think it's an absolute go. Love this stuff, man. Glad to have it in my collection. It sits right up there with Must Therapy, which for me, Must Therapy is my number 1 from Initio, Must Therapy, but this is definitely battling it out. And just an overall great fragrance. Captivated me so much that I found it for a great price in the parking lot after smelling it in the store. From the house of Initio, we're talking Paragon. This stuff is great and underrated in my opinion. Up next, one of the more talked about presentations throughout 2024, but everything else about this is incredible. This is one of the very best unique rose oud combinations that I've ever experienced from the house of Argos. I believe it is called Charon's Vail, not Sharon's Vail. Y'all be getting on me about that, but Charon from the house of Argos. I believe it is Charon's Vail, okay? When this came out, there was a lot of hype behind, the promos and a lot of hype behind the presentation, the first frosted glass bottle. All of those things were awesome. But you want to get down to the nitty gritty, you got to get down to the scent. And this is a very unique rose oud patchouli bomb. That's what this is, man. And this is not for everyone. It is not. But luckily for me, I am a fan of rose. I am a fan of oud and patchouli done right. Patchouli is a note that is not going to, resonate with a lot of people, especially when it gets down to its, maybe like on the dry down, you really get that earthy, wet, earthy, dry type of feeling, type of vibe from it. But with this, the rose and the oud in the opening just come out fighting, come out swinging. This is strong stuff. You don't need that many sprays. I told the story, I was getting an oil change one morning. I rolled up to my dealership and the young lady told her brother about me because he was in the fragrances, and turned out the brother knew who I was. So it was a very interesting meeting when I went to go get my oil change, and He had seen my Charon's Vail review and all of that. So it's one that can start a conversation. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be this compliment beast or magnet. It can be, just depends on how you represent it. But overall, for me, it has a special place in my heart because of what the rose and the oud do. It's a particular combination that everybody is going to have its opinion on. But over this way, this is a masterpiece. Christian absolutely delivered on this great fragrance, man. And so glad to have this in my collection. And shout out to my team, my friends over at Argos, man. This stuff is amazing. From the house of Argos, we're talking Charon's Vail. How y'all like that? Charon's Vail. This is a great addition to my collection in 2024. Use Dedrick 10 for anything on Argos, man. Save yourself 10% by using Dedrick 10. Up next, oh God, this probably should have been in the first video, the part 1. So captivated by this cherry fragrance, unlike any other cherry ever. It's the number 2 cherry in my experience, the number 2 cherry fragrance that I've experienced in my lifetime. From the house of Electimuss, we have Caspian cherry. My God. This, out of everything we're talking about today, this is a compliment beast. A lot of people love Caspian cherry, and so do I. But the reason why I love it so much is that amaretto note. I have a unique relationship with amaretto because of amaretto sours. When I was a younger man in the world, moving around, an amaretto sour was my go-to drink, and it just took me back. And with other notes, obviously the cherry, there's the dark chocolate, vanilla. There's so many different things going on with this fragrance, but ultimately that amaretto and that cherry really ride it out with this fragrance. This is my first full bottle of Electimuss in my collection, but in 2025 I will be adding more, and the head of the class will be Caspian cherry. This stuff is incredible. All you French defense lovers and Bodacious by Boudicca, all those different Lost Cherry, all the cherry fragrances that are out there, this is not like any of them. So for anyone gonna ask, no, this stands alone and it does its own thing. Unique cherry, and I absolutely love it. So glad to have this in my collection and add it in 2024. Caspian cherry by Electimuss. This stuff is incredible, man. Incredible stuff. Very good, mass appealing, fun loving scent for sure. All right. Up next, gotta shout out my guy Jason Vercher for over in Sips and Sniffs. This is a versatile king. This is one that I had a lot of conversation about, and it's really, really, really good. This has been an office staple for me this year. It just fits for what I got going on. My day-to-day setup, this just fits. From the house of Vertus Paris, we're talking Bois a Cuir. Bois a Cuir from the house of Vertus. When you hear Vertus, I know a lot of people think vanilla oud, but this is something great, man. It's fresh, it's clean. There's leather, there's a little sprinkle of vanilla. Citruses, a grapefruit in here up top. Some fresh spicy tones, a smooth texture to it. Has a lot of great qualities to this fragrance, but overall, it's just something that's very versatile. Gets the job done on a high level. Put you in the mind frame of a Cedrat Bois, of a Creative Ventus, more towards the Cedrat Bois sides of things than the Aventus. It just does what Aventus. This does what Aventus does, meaning it works for anything, anytime, any place, anytime, any place, anywhere. That's what this fragrance does. And like I said, it does it at a high level. The quality is fantastic. It smells absolutely amazing, and most importantly, it gets the job done, especially in the office setting. Good for anything, versatile for anything, but definitely one of the great pickups of the year. And like I said, shout out Jason for putting me on and a bunch of you guys on about this fragrance for sure. Got it for a great price over on Max Aroma, and I think it was under $100 at the time that I purchased. It was under $100. A great price for a niche fragrance that gives some really, really great depth and versatility, and you can really wear for anything, but you also smell the class in here, the quality in here is really, really great stuff, and ultra happy to have it from the house of Vertus. We're talking Bois a Cuir. Bois a Cuir from the house of Vertus. Glad to have this in my collection in 2024. And last but not least, another special moment for me, just the emotional piece as well to it. The connection overall with this fragrance is so great, so positive, it's so amazing, and I'm so glad to have it from the house of Zaharoff. We're talking Precious Treasure. Precious Treasure from Zaharoff. Man, if you have not heard the story or seen the story of Precious Treasure and how it came about, I highly encourage you guys to do so. A limited edition here, limited quantities as of right now. It is sold out, but in 2025 there could be a resurgence of this fragrance. But until then, the connection, man, is incredible, man. How the Bushman candle and everything out in South Africa, the Skeleton Coast, and the people, like, just amazing story. George came on, Zaharoff came on, did a live stream with me, a great interview, probably my live stream of the year. The connection piece on this is why it makes it special. Overall, the fragrance itself is incredible too. This is another versatile king, but the experience is wild. It's different. It's so different from any other versatile experience that you will have. The blend, the featuring of the frankincense and the Bushman candle and everything that's associated with this is something different from the house of Zaharoff. Claude Deer, special creation here, special story, and really thankful and grateful to have had the experience of Precious Treasure. So I had to discuss it. I had to have it in this video as one of the great pickups of 2024. And salute to George Zaharoff and everybody at the team, the team and the brand. Just excellent stuff, man. So from the house of Zaharoff, check out the interview, check out the story, and just see for yourself. If you haven't already, it is incredible stuff. From the house of Zaharoff, we're talking Precious Treasure. Precious Treasure. If anybody's wondering, I have bottle 19 of 500. That is my bottle. All right. Whew. All right. I feel better. I feel better now. We did 2 parts. We did part 1 and part 2, total of 20 fragrances of my best pickups of the year. This could have been a 5-part series. This could have been, but I'm not doing any more. We're headed into 2025. We'll leave 2024 where it is, but you will hear about these fragrances throughout 2025 and beyond. All right. So again, let me know some of your great pickups of the year. At the dropping of this video, it might be New Year's Eve when this drops. Yeah, New Year's Eve, this may be dropping, and just want to put one more light on 2024. I will have the Smell Good Family Awards coming out the next day. So the Smell Good Family Awards, it'll be the 3rd year I've done it. Should be out. If you're watching this late, you can check out that as well. But until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes. Definitely appreciate all the love, support. I do not take it for granted at all. And you guys take care of yourselves, man. Happy New Year for sure. All right. Peace, y'all. And remember, what you put out to this world is exactly what you're going to get back. Start off the year strong, y'all. Start off the year right. All right. Peace, man. Spam.